Hello and welcome to this week's version of The Edit, the YouTube show where we cut out all the buzz and the fuss out of the news and bring you what you really want. This week we've got a deep dive into the Traitors, a Champions League roundup and what to prepare for on the Ho for Remembrance Sunday. But up first we've got Amy talking about the emerging clothing scene within DJs.
Here in the UK, fashion is constantly evolving with DJing. Besides this, music creators are starting to create their own fashion brands and expand their image. Big names like Peggy Gou, Josh Baker and Rossi have created their own men's and women's wear for fans to wear to their shows. This has brought new styles to the surface, bringing a refreshing brand to the DJing scene. I've been talking to local DJ Louis Bradford about his experience in the business.
Obviously brands like Rossi's Homegrown, Stussie's Up the Stuss, Baker's Dozen and things like that, obviously they have their own brand now, which they run events with, they make their own clothing with obviously their fashion brand. It obviously just brings up their whole image and the brand themselves. And I think it's an important thing for big DJs to do because house music and DJing and all these raves, festivals, events and stuff are so commercial nowadays. It obviously it makes them more than just a DJ. It's almost like their own brand image. They're famous, so they need to expand out of just music side of things and go into their own clothing, and obviously it gives fans a chance to wear their merch and show that they're fans of the creator. So yeah, I think it's quite a big deal. Working with people like Rossi, Baker, and Peggy Gou, other big DJs, you can see how much time they actually put into these type of things, like their social media, fashion, designs, even visuals for the backstage, and just behind the scenes things. They put so much time into it. It's not just music and DJing, and it's not all rainbows and sunshine, which you see as well. It's the nitty-gritty stuff that you have to do behind the scenes. With house music developing and evolving so much into the commercial side of social media and things, I feel like fashion is such an important part of the industry, and I'd like to myself create my own fashion brand eventually, becoming an upcoming DJ at the moment. I've got some upcoming stuff myself with some bigger shows and music coming out, so I'm hoping that with that comes fashion as well and I can bring out my own stuff soon.
Well, thank you very much for that, Amy. I'm going to wait until Louis Bradford releases his own merch so I can get some of my own. Up now, we sent Riley down to the Ho on a lovely day to find out what the city is prepared for Remembrance Sunday.
I'm here at the Cenotaph, where we've seen the Army, Navy and Marines rehearsing for this Remembrance Sunday. It's an important time of year on the Ho, where a lot of people gather to watch our military force stationed at the Ho Promenade come into action. Remembrance Sunday is an important time of year up and down the country, supported here in Plymouth by thousands who gather on the waterfront with a beautiful backdrop of the Sound to commemorate the lives lost at war. The armed forces join together from sea, land and air to parade along the Ho. We were lucky enough to catch the rehearsal ahead of Remembrance Sunday, seeing the military band in action along with the Green Berets and even a glimpse of a naval warship. Elsewhere in Plymouth, poppies were draped over the Guildhall in a touching tribute to a city with a huge naval heritage. In 2024, the Poppy Appeal raised £51.4 million for the Royal British Legion, helping military veterans and their families who need support after their service. They hope to raise even more this year. Remember to show your support this Sunday for our armed forces as we remember those we've lost. Back to you in the studio.
Thank you very much for that, Riley. That looks like a lovely day. Remembrance Sunday is so important down in this city and the Ho always looks fantastic for it. Now, a lot of you might have been watching the Traitors and wondering quite who's going to win on tonight's show. We have two people now discussing just what they think is going to come up.
Hello, and we're here at the round table ahead of the Traitors final tonight. Mia, you've been watching, I believe. How have you found it so far?
I found it very well. I'm really enjoying it so far this season. I mean, for the Traitors, they've had a walk in the park almost. They're doing very well, but for the Faithfuls, not so much. I mean, early on, they got quite a lot of Faithfuls out, so I'm not looking too good at the moment, but hopefully good things tonight's episode.
Who is your money on? Who do you think is going to win?
Oh, that's a tough one, really. I think Joe could have a good performance. I feel like he could convince the Faithfuls, no, that person's a traitor. But Kat's a very quiet character, and I feel like she's very good at like dodging the bullet almost and putting blame on someone else. So you never know, maybe Kat will win it. But I think my money's on Kat. I think she might win it, go all the way.
I love that. And Alan, we've got to talk about his performance.
Yes.
How have you found him this season? He's been hilarious.
It has been. It's made me laugh every single episode I've watched. It's very interesting. I actually thought early on Alan would be voted out. I think he laughs at everything. If you can sit at round tables, he was laughing at every single little thing. I think his character's quite a bubbly character, quite a loud character, so it really hides it well.
He has hid it through his humour.
He has indeed. So yeah, I think Alan's done very well to get into the final.
Right, so your money is on Kat to win tonight.
It is.
Let us know what you think. Back to Dylan, guys.
Well, thank you very much, girls. I can't wait for tonight's show, personally. And some of you might have missed out on some of the most important games of last night whilst you were watching the fireworks. So we've got Lewis with the Champions League roundup to finish us off.
Man City beat Borussia Dortmund 4-1 last night, and Phil Foden essentially had his own fireworks to set off as he scored 2, and his general play was astonishing. So a really good performance from him and the entire team.
Is Phil Foden at his best? Is he back to his best? Has he still got a bit to go to be at his best?
This season is back. Yeah, this season. Not feel all of us who struggled me first, but it happened. When Phil is in that level, when playing between the lines in the pockets, and it doesn't matter what happened. His first contact, his turn, and after his generosity, running and fighting, and he's a special player. But we need his goals definitely, and today make hopefully the first step to do it. And yeah, before the big match against on Sunday, it's important to have him back.
It definitely raises the question as to whether this good string of performances Foden is putting together has earned him a spot in the England squad coming up. So I suppose we'll have to see this Friday when Thomas Tuchel makes his decision. Newcastle beat Athletic Club last night in what was a really brilliant game to watch, and had some good goals in it too, with Dan Burns scoring a crazy header, almost a curling header it seemed like, from quite far out. And then in the 49th minute, Joe Linton scored the winner, and leaving them with a 2-0 win. And they currently sit in 6th in the table. And even Eddie Howe said that he didn't expect his team to get this far when he first started at the club. So it's really impressive what they're doing, and it's interesting to see how far they'll get. And finally, Chelsea's game against Qarabag ended 2-2 in what was expected to be a relatively easy game for Chelsea, despite the fact that Qarabag have been doing quite well this season. But it ended up being 2-2 in the end, and not a result that Chelsea wants. But Maresca seems to put it down to the fact that they're still recovering from the Club World Cup. So that's interesting.
7 changes, and I think for the last 5 games you've made 7 or more changes. So could you explain that? And does the Club World Cup have anything to do with it, and sort of the workload that you've had?
Yeah, I think I tried to explain already many times. We have player. The intention tonight was to rest Enzo, to rest Moy, to rest Malo, to rest more players, because they are not able to play every 3 days. They didn't recover from last season. As you said, the Club World Cup affect a lot. And we try to do, we try to rotate when you win. No one mentioned about that. I know that when we don't win, everyone is, focused on that. But now I think it's important to recover energy for Saturday and go again.
That was the Champions League roundup. Now back to Dylan in the studio.
Thank you very much, Lewis. I would have personally done the whole segment on Big Dan Burn, but maybe that's just me. And that's been our show. Thank you for watching the edit. Please remember to like and subscribe down below. And we're going to do this every week. So even if it's not me presenting, then make sure to tune in for your next weekly roundup.